Hey everyone, how you living? Hope you're alive and living color. This is Eric Lima here. You're watching another episode of EML77 TV, episode 325. On the last episode, I touched base on what happened on Raw last night after SummerSlam. What if I was a wrestling manager instead of a wrestler? And the return of the King of the Ring tournament. And all other random stuff that there is. Give me a second here. Let me some orange Gatorade. Alright. I want to talk about something. I just realized that 2019 is the last year of the decade of 2010s. And I'm going to admit this right now, that this decade alone of the 2010s is the toughest decade I ever had to endure. It's very tough. Been a lot of rough things. There have been a lot of things that went on this decade. That a lot of changes have been made over the course of this decade, and it's to the point where, I am just even glad I survived it. It's not over yet. Obviously, we have 4 more months until we hit 2020, which is surreal. That is even, it's even more surreal that the 80s will be considered now 40 years ago. And listen, I lived through the 80s. I lived through the 90s. I lived, 2000, 2009. Those 3 decades right there were my best decades ever. Because in the 80s, I didn't have to. I was a little kid, didn't have to worry about a whole lot of responsibilities. Then the 90s were a challenge because I became a teenager and everything's going. Everything just went. Mid 90s. I was going through a lot of changes and adjustments to be made, and I was still young, had to learn a whole lot, and then you come to the decade of the 10s and 2000, the 2000s, I should say. Where, so like coming into what I've known, and then the 2010s hit, and it's like major changes happening. 2010s, I've been, when we kicked off the decade of 2010s, I was still working at Ruby Tuesday at the time. I was still learning how to use the computer, the internet, how to utilize it, how to, to get everything going and whatnot, and, been totally crazy, and a lot of changes have been made at Ruby's at the time when Ruby's was still open. Managerial changes, and then that I changed my job in the spring of 2010, and then I had to go through a whole sorts of new stuff on my new job at the mall, and then dealing with a lot of things here on the internet, being trolled on, a lot of family drama. A lot of things have been happening, and online family drama, making new friends. A lot of things have happened in this decade alone, and it's like, people, see, I'm getting a little screwed up here. People will be wondering, Eric, how you survive this? Easy, just don't give up. Don't give up and keep going. And I'm looking at them like, and we had a lot of stores close, which is unbelievable. I'm like mind blown about how, and we have a president who has no political experience. He was just a billionaire tycoon. He was a reality TV show host, and now the guy's president. And it's like, okay, this world is flipped upside down. Everything is just, it's now safe to close it down. Okay, I'll do that. And just, it's totally insane that this decade alone has been a lot of changes, a lot of things happening. And, we all thought that events were canceled, and then they're resurrected. And then we have, it's, I kind of, there are a lot of days, there are days during this decade alone where I say, I wish I was back in the 80s and 90s. I wish I was back in the 2000s. And, there's days I have to admit, I wish I was back at Ruby Tuesday, but now it's obviously closed. My father retired from Sears Auto Center in 2015, and Ruby Tuesday closed that year. Now, fast forward all the way up here to 2019. My sister and brother-in-law in Dartmouth has not spoken to us, our family, for months now. We saw, Sears Auto Center closed. We saw Payless Shoe Stores closed. We saw Aeropostale and Crazy 8's closed, and Charlotte Russe is closed. And we see a lot of changes, especially in wrestling. The internet did play a humongous part in this decade alone. And it's like I said, there has been a lot of changes been happening. It's crazy. It's crazy how insane things really, really are. And I'm at the point where you just been mind blown. It's like explosion. It's like, wow. And I survived all, and I still am standing despite all that I went through. I had to go through the online drama here, on YouTube, getting trolled on 2016 to 2017 throughout those 2 years, and then it started up again this past summer, and but I knew exactly what to do this time. It's like it's experience that helped me get through this, and it's experience of everything in my life. Everybody complains that I talk about things in my past. I talk about my ex-crush. I don't talk about her in a negative manner or a trashy manner or a bitter manner. It's just a lifelong experience. A lot of people, I had explained. I kept on repeating and explaining this because there's some stupid people out there that don't know what they're talking about. They don't know how I'm feeling, and it's all that. And people don't even have a brain. They don't even have a clue about what it's like to walk a mile in my shoes. There's some people out there who have no freaking clue, and they think they know everything about me. They think they know everything. They should be telling me what to do with my life. Let me tell you something. There is nobody that knows about my life more than I do. All right? There's a lot of things in my life that went on, and believe me, it has been a challenge. This decade alone has been a challenge. I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about my life. There's a lot of revelations that happened to me in my life to the point where I say, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to live my life the way it should be lived. I'm not going to let some idiot trolls tell me what to do on this stupid thing because I am not going to tolerate people that think they know my life and they think they can be my life coaches. Let me tell you something. There's only one life coach I trust, and that's the Lord himself. And believe you and me when I say this, I ain't going to put up with any crap any longer. 2020 will be a year that zero tolerance will be in full effect with me because the fact of the matter is this. Either you in or you're out. That's the main thing for me. You like my videos, fine. You don't like my videos, then move the freak on. Because the fact of the matter is that Eric Lima is going to do his thing in 2020, and he's going to keep on doing it until the Lord decides, hey, come home, son. But until then, I'm staying on this earth for one reason, is to share my gift to the world. And, like I said, I've gone through so many things. We had a lot of celebrities that passed away. A lot of wrestlers passed away. It's unbelievable. It gets crazier and crazier and crazier. And there's people that I've known that passed away in my life. And I'm just totally mind blown. How I survived through all this, it's beyond me. But I praise God for it, man. So it's, like I said, the 2010s was the toughest decade I ever lived. I thought the 90s were pretty bad, but nothing beats 2010s as far as tough decades. It has been a really, really rough decade for me. Adjusting to a new job, adjusting to a lot of things happening in our family, it's a lot of things to catch up on. It's really, really crazy. Really, really crazy. My three younger siblings got married. My two brothers and my sister all got married. And it's crazy. It's totally crazy. And I really don't know what to tell you folks, but I want to keep going with this. I'll keep going with this YouTube channel. Whether people like it or not, I'm here to stay. Despite what I've been through this past decade, I'm still going to go on. I'm still going to move on. I'm still going to keep doing my thing. the year's not over yet. The year's still young. You know what I mean? Summer's almost over. August, we're halfway through August, man. Halfway through August already. Am I looking forward to jury duty? No. By upside of it, I get a day off from work. Downside, I'd be stuck in a courtroom for 2 freaking hours, or probably more than that. It depends if I get called on a case or something. Mike, so we have to take time out of our busy, regular lives just to sit in the courtroom and decide and judge someone's fate. All because I'm registered to vote. I mean, should we get a ruling on that? I mean, seriously? We already got politicians that are so stupid anyways, and then all of a sudden they made marijuana illegal. Oh, that's a good idea. Let's make everybody more stupid by taking drugs now. Come on, people. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But hey, I'm still here. I'm still doing my thing. And I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep rolling on. Got to keep going. All right? Decade's tough, but I'm still here. That's all that matters. So, that's all the time we have in the show. God's blessings. Love, life, and light to all of you. Catch you on the flip side, and remember, pay attention. You might learn something. We'll see you in the next episode, 326. Okay? See you. Have a good day.